Hello, Applied English, and thank you for finding today's virtual lesson in Schoology. I have to thank you guys for your patience with me. Today's lesson was one that I had to kind of readapt to work out virtually, and I'm going to be working on the same thing for our next lesson later today, too. I hope you can tell from our lesson agenda today that today is a vocabulary day. Our objectives are to define new vocab words, which I will lead you through in this video. We will also work on writing in clean, complete sentences as we've been practicing these last 2 weeks. We'll actually focus on paragraphing next week. We're just kind of bumping those lessons forward a little bit. Today is a virtual day, so if you have not said a quick prayer yet, I recommend pausing this video, making sure that you can say a quick prayer before you continue with today's video. And moving on here, right now you are watching our new vocabulary definitions video. I will lead you through definitions for our next set of 10 words. I do want you to do the practice sentences on your own. I will demonstrate my process for writing those at the end of this video, so please be sure to watch all the way through. For our homework, I just put be sure to submit virtual assignments. I'm going to be doing a lot of grading today, especially for virtual work and yesterday's spelling practice as well. So this will give me a grasp on who's completing work virtually and who is not. We will use our block lesson this week as a chance to catch up a little bit more, so stay tuned on that too. As we go back out to our lesson folder here, you'll notice two things. New vocabulary definitions is the video you're watching right now. We also have second vocabulary set. I recommend that you actually open up both of them. So I'm going to click open link in new tab for your second vocabulary set right here. This will give you a document that you can fill in, definitions and your practice sentences. I recommend you open this up as we walk through definitions together here. That will lead you through it. I'll open mine up in Word so it doesn't change your document at all. I'm also going to open up new vocabulary definitions here. It says, please watch this video to work through definitions for our new vocabulary set. A link to our dictionary can be found below the video. This is just what I will be using within this video to catch definitions. And let me open this up. And here we are, vocabulary set number 2. It's probably valuable for me to read these words out loud, and I'll be using that same strategy of just seeing if there are any words that we can define without using a dictionary before I actually use Merriam-Webster here. Our words are allege, demeanor, bamboozle, it's a great word, component, tentative or tentative, mitigate, deliberately, I'm noticing an ly, it's an adverb, exuberant, famished, and woefully, another adverb right there. And then what do we have? We've got 3 verbs, 1, 2, 3 adjectives, 1, 2 adverbs, and only 2 nouns on this one as well. So as I look at this list, these are some difficult words. So let's say I don't know any of these by definition just yet. I will be using those parts of speech as a guide as I look these up. Let's just start from the first one with allege. Noticing that it's a verb right here, so I just have to check definitions now. To assert without proof or before proving, to bring forward as a reason or excuse. Let me check my verbs there. To confuse, nope. To make less severe, nope. To bring forward as a reason or excuse is allege. By the way, if I'm moving too fast in this video, feel free to pause it at any point if it helps you to get definitions down. I'm also going to use my process of elimination, so you could, I suppose, delete the word from the top. I'm going to use strike through. I'll go home. You could highlight as well. I'm just going to use strike through, just so I know that I won't use allege again. Next up is demeanor. Go away, cat. Demeanor's a noun. Now I remember there are only 2 nouns to choose from. Behavior toward others or outward manner. And I'm just looking for the nouns on my list. A constituent part or ingredient, behavior towards others, outward manner is demeanor. Again, feel free to pause the video if you need to get definitions down a little more slowly. One little strategy, since I used 1 noun, and I notice I only have 1 other noun, as soon as I see a noun on our list, I know it's a constituent part or an ingredient. Bamboozle. A verb. To deceive by underhanded methods, to dupe or hoodwink. To confuse, frustrate, or throw off thoroughly. I think I remember that being the first one. Bamboozle. Bamboozle is just a really good synonym for confuse. So if you said something like, the football team completely bamboozled us, confused us with a trick play, or something like that, or with a fake punt, or something like that. Bye-bye bamboozle. Component. Oh, it's a noun. I know where it goes. Constituent, part, or ingredient. There's only one more noun on our list. Notice that these get easier as we eliminate along the way. So component is a constituent part or ingredient. Tentative. Tentative. So my first adjective here. Not fully worked out or developed, hesitant or uncertain. It's an adjective. So not intensely hungry. Joyously unrestrained, hesitant or uncertain. 5 down, 5 to go. Mitigate. It's a verb. To cause to become less harsh or hostile. To make less severe or painful. To alleviate. How many verbs do I have left? Oh, there it is. To make less severe or painful. To alleviate is to mitigate. With only 4 words to go, it should be a lot easier to manage. Let's just see what we have left here. We have 1 adjective, both adverbs. Oh, it's just 2 adjectives, 2 adverbs left. Okay. Now notice, we have our 2 adverbs. Let's maybe eliminate those first right here. We have deliberately and woefully. Deliberately. Oops. An adverb. Let's see, in a deliberate manner, with full awareness of what one is doing, in a way that's intended or planned, in a way that's not hurried, slowly, and carefully. See if we can find that in there. Not lamentably bad or serious. With full awareness of what one is doing, in a way that's intended or planned, is deliberately. A good synonym for deliberately is purposely. He purposely pushed me down the stairs. He deliberately pushed me down the stairs. Intentionally. Because of process of elimination, I can also place woefully now, because I know it's an adverb. It must mean lamentably bad or serious, deplorable. I guess a good synonym for woefully would be horribly, right? He is a horribly bad basketball player. He is a woefully bad basketball player. All that's left is 2 adjectives, exuberant and famished. Let's maybe look at exuberant first. Then we can just eliminate for famished. Exuberant, joyously unrestrained and enthusiastic. I think I remember seeing that on our list. I'll actually remind you, if you need to pause this video right now to copy down definitions, that's fine. And all that leaves left for the last word, intensely hungry, is famished. The boy was extremely hungry. The boy was famished. So we've got our definitions now. Might be worthwhile to pause the video and get those copied down if you haven't gotten them all just yet. The next step is to use them correctly in its own complete sentence. So these words are tricky. I just want to kind of demonstrate to you my process for writing these complete sentences. But then I'll leave the rest up to you. We'll start with allege. So allege is a verb, so I should use it as a verb. To bring forward as a reason or an excuse. I'm thinking excuse right here. I might come up with a sentence that says something like, I'm erasing the lines as I go. The toddler, no, let's use student. What if I said something like, the naughty student alleged that his parakeet ate his homework. The naughty student made an excuse that his parakeet ate his homework. That's what allege means in that situation. Notice that I put a D on the end of allege right there. You can change the form of verbs to make the sentence work. I just made it past tense right there. What I would say is feel free to use this example sentence if you need one. Otherwise, I would encourage you to try one on your own. There is one more method that I want to share with you that might help here. Let's say I'm looking at demeanor. I see its definition, behavior toward others or outward manner. Let's say I'm really struggling with thinking through how I would use that in a sentence. What I might try is using the internet as a resource, but I have to give you a fair warning not to copy down these sentences word for word. I do want you to be creative and use your own sentences here, but I could use the internet sentences as a model for mine. Let me try demeanor real quick. Sometimes Merriam-Webster has good ones itself, otherwise I can use a different website. Synonym, did you know? Examples in a sentence. Sam himself, a quiet young man with a rather shy demeanor, was somewhat being used by all this attention. Now this sentence is a little bit complex. If you were to copy paste this, I would know that you stole it from the internet. But maybe I can try to use this as a model. It says a quiet young man with a rather shy demeanor. What if I just use that as a model? What if I said something like... What if I said something like I like the idea of shy demeanor. What if I said something like the sweet little girl... No, we'll do girls. No, we'll do one. The sweet little girl had a... What if I said quiet, shy demeanor? Is it similar to the sentence that we saw online? Absolutely. But since I wrote this myself, I proved that I know what demeanor means. It just means her manners, right? Her behavior towards others. This is how this little girl appears on the outside. The sweet little girl had a quiet, shy demeanor. You're absolutely allowed to use internet sentences as a model, but please make sure you're not copying them word for word. Use them as a model. Use them as inspiration for your own ideas. This is my only assignment for you, is to complete these sentences. Please make sure you're writing incomplete sentences. That's part of how I grade these assignments. I do know that this will be one of the last assignments that I grade on this grade report, so please make sure that you are taking care of business. Again, just like yesterday, I'll be available in the afternoon. If you have any questions for me, hit me up in Microsoft Teams. That's largely what we'll be doing in our block lesson coming up here as well. Later.